Hello, my spooky friends. Welcome to Spirit Halloween 2025. I'm going to do a full store walkthrough, check out the animatronics to see if there's anything new, show you the things I like to purchase here and the things I like to avoid so that you can find them somewhere else at a better product and a better price. So let's just go ahead and jump on in. Right at the very beginning, you see the animatronics are center stage, and this is the Madison Scare Station, the subway that was very interactive, so that was fun to see and go in and take a look. Now, everything that was set out for these animatronics was new. I was glad not to see Leatherface, don't get me wrong, I love Leatherface, but he's been sitting out as one of the main attractions for years. I wish they would let us see art, just set them out. Everyone wants to see them. Come on, what are you doing to us? So I'm going in and I'm not going to talk throughout the entire thing because I want you to be able to hear, but this was very cool, very interactive. So yeah, check it out. One of the things I want to mention to you is I had on-location microphone problems, and that's why you're getting the voiceover now. So some of the sound is a little bit wonky, but I hope you still enjoy it.
Wipe the tunnel. Suffocating hot. Knives and throats Candy joy, twisted and bright. And feel the sting and endless fright to satisfy our carved delights.
That's funny.
As the midnight hour approaches, my tension builds inside me. Now you see what I'm capable of. So, beware and keep out of my presence. For I may take out my aggressions on you next time.
It really went up pretty high.
I carry the eternal flames deep in my chest. Then it will burn your soul.
That's pretty cool. Let's take a look. This guy here.
Your truth. Not everyone who dies gets to live to tell about it.
So now you see they have the wall of shirts. Now these shirts are very well made, I can tell you that. So if you're kind of wondering about that, they are good if you want to pick one up. So I'm going through and I'm checking out mostly some of the most popular things that people are looking for, like the Nightmare Before Christmas, your Jason and his mask, so all your Friday the 13th, and things like Ghostface, because now they have very different forms of the mask, which I think is cool, but very popular. So those were set out a little bit more, and we're just going to go ahead and browse. Now everything I'm actually picking up and checking out is a tote or a throwover bag, because I just love those, and I do check those out. And it's one of my biggest debates about whether or not I'm going to buy something other than what I need. And I didn't need a whole lot on this trip. So the only thing I did purchase was a Sally Nightmare Before Christmas outfit and a Terrifier outfit. So that'll let you know what's coming ahead for a tutorial. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and let the music play and we'll just check it out. And here is the wall of Terrifier stuff, and I am happy to see that more things were set out this year than the year before. It was just every time I would go to, and I went to 2 locations one time, and they still didn't have a whole lot of art or Terrifier stuff setting out. The costumes are still real popular. They sell out quickly, but I did pick up a Terrifier, the Pale Girl, so I have that, and there's going to be some things that are coming out in tutorials I'm really excited about. But if I don't want to make it and it's very distinct, I will buy it. Now this Lydia Dietz camera, oh, I was really into this. I had to talk myself out of this purchase because realistically it didn't hold anything, and it was really heavy price tag. And with the new Beetlejuice that had came out, I'm gonna kind of wait a couple years to see if that comes down just a little bit, but usually it doesn't when it comes to the totes and the backpacks and the throwovers. So maybe next year, we'll see. Now, when it comes to certain sections of the store, if you have something that's themed like Dracula or Nightmare Before Christmas or anything that has these rhinestones and these gems, the eyelashes, and the accessories for it, there will also be another section for things like makeup and eyelashes. So don't shop at one stop. Do take a look around, but that's something that might help you to avoid racking up the cost and get a better, variety. But when it comes to the eyelashes, I find that their bands on the eyelashes are very tough. Walmart has a lot more, and between Ardell and a couple of well-known brands that have better bands to work with, if you're not a person that's used to using them, I would stick to what you could find at the drugstore, at Walmart, and also a couple of the ones that are around the dollar store. You can find those thin bands that are more comfortable to wear. And also the other thing is the wigs. Now, wigs will be in certain sections. When it comes to like the clown, you'll get a clown wig or something like that, or you notice that it's black and white or red and black like this one here. But they do have a complete wall, and do check that out. But if you're not finding something on the wall of wigs, you can look in a specific section. Now, their wigs do run $29. If you're looking for something that you don't really care, you just want the color, Walmart does have wigs for $10. The bigger ones last longer and have a better shape than the shorter ones. Now, you see this vampire blood over here is associated with this section, of vampires and wolves and things like that. But you can also get this cheaper at Walmart. And it's good. It's the same thing as stage blood. It may be a little darker, but it's still gonna get the job done. It just depends on how much you need and what you're willing to spend. When it comes to things like the stockings and the socks and things like that, I have a hard time fitting any of it. I prefer just to go to Amazon, where I have a better selection of sizes. I mean, they're really nice, but man, they don't fit, and I don't have big legs, and I just don't understand why. They'll just move on to something else, something else that we need. If you're not going to make them in a size that everyone can actually wear, well, what's the point? I don't know. Maybe it just looks better, and it makes the store look full and the walls look full. Who knows? But I would avoid it if it was me. Now, here you see the big wall of wigs, a bigger variety and selection and colors. But the one wig that I picked up that sells fast online and in the store was the Bride of Frankenstein wig, because as you all know, I've done Frankenstein's monster, and I really want to do the Bride of Frankenstein. Now, when it comes to things like fangs, scarecrow fangs are number one. They're in the top of the field, and there's not that many different companies that have them, but I can vouch for them. Even if you have crowns like I do, you can actually use a denture paste to keep it in, so you don't have to use that glue that comes with it. So check out their adhesives. The adhesive spirit gum and the remover is a good purchase here, same as online. Now, their liquid latex is $16.99, and for a little bit more, if you're needing clear dry, go to Amazon. Check my description box below, because that's all I ever use is clear dry liquid latex. And what I've never used before is any of their prosthetics, because I tried to make my own, but these look to be thin. I think you can apply them a little bit easier, and I just would not recommend getting small bottles of anything. When it comes to the stage blood and the gel blood has a thicker viscosity, and it shows up and stays in place a little bit more. Now, if you're needing something like arterial spray and you're doing a rig, at this point you're buying gallons of it, so there's no need to pick that up. And you'll see they have a little guide about what type of blood do I need, and you're paying for the bottle. If you're going to do spray, dip a brush, a toothbrush, a makeup brush into stage blood and just flicker that all over the face. It's the same. It looks the same. Don't pay for packaging that you do not need. Now, over here in the makeup section, they have their kits, but they have kits with the cream. Now, I can vouch for the cream paint that is very good. It doesn't crack and it's very opaque and it's comfortable on the skin. And with all the other, rhinestones and things like that, they're a little bit pricey. Check Walmart. But what I did not see is just individual tubes of cream paint in several different colors. So, and I'm not sure if they offer that online, but I think if you're going to just do this once a year and you're not a heavy Halloween enthusiast or cosplayer, you can get by with using the water paints or the cream paints at Walmart. But when it comes to the glitter, they're very, very intriguing. These glitters are actually in a suspension, so it's like a gel or a Vaseline, and it's not going to have that pop that you need. If you're wanting high heavy glitter, do NYX Cosmetic or a loose glitter and use glitter adhesive. That's the best bet for your money. But also, whenever you're using glitter, be careful to have it away from the eye. Just don't get the glitter in the eye. Use that adhesive and start slowly. I'm sorry, I'm already in a tutorial here, but let's just move on. I've never used any of their lipsticks, but you can get cheaper lipsticks at the dollar store that achieve the same thing. Now, when it comes to their hairspray paints, they are very good. I do prefer them a little bit over what is available at Walmart, but Walmart has stepped it up in their Halloween game for the last couple of years. Just stay with those that have the color on the cap. When you start going to clear cap colors or something like this glow in the dark, it tends to not have that high intense color that you're looking for, but they're still good at Walmart. This is the rest of the wig section. So the boards here, you see we have the facial hair and the fun different styles and textures, and we're going to move over on into the weapons. Now, I like to make my weapons depending on what that weapon is, but if I need to buy it to save time and money, I will. I just didn't need anything, so I want to go through and show you the masks that they have available. I think they are still the same, but this is where I got the mask that I turned into a ram devil horn look. They run about $7 or $8, I can't remember. They come in black, they come in white, and they also come with that string attached to it. This is a purchase that if you're looking to make your own mask, that you should always get every time. And I'm not sure if I said it before, but they do not have these online, so get this one at the store. Now, looking at their hats, all their hats are very well made, but if you're going for something like the witch look, Walmart, Dollar General, they are stepping it up. They have very good witch hats and actually more variety than most of the stores that I've seen at Spirit Halloween. These hats tend to be geared a little bit more for something specific, but a witch you can always make your own, pick it up, and you can add several different things to it. I do even have a glamorous witch hat tutorial on the channel, so check that in the link in the description below. And here in this section we have the yard decorations, the fog machines, the graveyard markers, the hanging skeletons, and I do believe, and it's my opinion, that Lowe's and Home Depot have more, better, and better prices It's always a Halloween war between Home Depot and Lowe's, and I do intend to have that video, the Halloween Wars. I do that one every year also, so you guys can have a chance to go and scout before you go and buy. But here they had a little bit more in the fog and the lights section than I thought. It was kind of strange. But the tiny terrors, they're still very cool to look at. I didn't see anything new in the baby, and this time actually baby art was on the shelf, and these things were going so quick last year that I never seen one on a shelf, and every time I looked on the website, gone, sold out. But there's two new ones here. The baby girl with the barbed wire in her mouth was, I believe, new, or I only seen it online. I think she was pretty cute. And the other one that I'm not very familiar with, that I don't think I've seen before, is the ice cream and the shard glass baby. I think they're very cute. I just don't need anything else to decorate my space. I'm hanging out for a lot of new cool stuff, and I'll show you the difference when we get throughout the store, that you're going to see that what I think is happening, and it's very exciting. Now, I do like to walk through the children's section so you can take a look, because I noticed a lot of videos kind of leave that out. And, you know, trick-or-treating as a family is just something that I didn't grow up doing. I trick-or-treated with my friends, but I would be kind of envious of those that would trick-or-treat with their families, and it was a big thing to do every year. So I don't want to neglect the fact that I know most of my viewers, you know, are around my age. I'm not going to tell you what that is. And they are looking for costumes for their children. So I think they had a good selection here, and they were up to date. I don't have children, so I'm not exactly sure if everything here is the most popular, but let me know in the comments below what's the most popular, you know, children's costume this year. All right, here we are next at the wall of tchotchkes and decor, and some things I noticed that I haven't seen before. Now, the skulls and everything, those are standard, but what was new was the potion bottles. I think those are pretty cool. And also the books, and then over into the neon section after we passed the Nightmare Before Christmas. And I thought that was strange that the Nightmare Before Christmas had a very small section. So that was unusual to see. But the new neon, I had to stop myself from buying Art the Clown, and I really wish this Bates Motel was working, but it unfortunately was not. But it's still very cool to see. Let me tell you one of the things I did notice, and you'll see in this section over here, I did not see a very big selection of killer clowns from outer space. I seen a couple of the Funko here, and it was unusual. And what I think is happening, because I hear that there is going to be a remake featuring Edward Norton, so I think maybe they kind of let their license kind of expire so they can pick it up in more merchandising, which is pretty smart. So I'm excited about that. I'm a huge Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I did notice that Art the Clown little statue there was more expensive in the store than it was online, which is kind of strange, or I looked at it wrong. And you still have your good guys, Chucky. I didn't see the Bride of Chucky, but I seen Annabelle. And one thing that is exciting about Annabelle is that there's a popcorn bucket for, I believe, the last of the Conjuring franchise that's to come out. That's an exciting one that I'm going to look forward to watching. So here is the wall of socks that always gets me at the very end. The only thing I can tell you is stay away from the ones that are long. They don't fit anyone's calves. I don't know who they're thinking about, so get the small ones. They're very cool. So let me know what you're going to be this year for Halloween. List that in the comments below and hit that subscribe button if you want to see the Halloween wars between Lowe's and Home Depot. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye.